Hello and welcome everyone. I am Brian Steele, and in this presentation I'm going to show you how to achieve the holy grail of monitoring solutions by fully exploiting unified monitoring to achieve application service management. Then I will reveal the secrets of how to do this using techniques and services that a lot of IT professionals have overlooked or never even heard of. Just a little about me. I am passionate about helping clients to develop their monitoring solutions to deliver impressive results across the board to make their lives easier. Here is the outline agenda for today, where we will discuss research-driven understanding, reasons for failure, the traditional monitoring approach, what is unified monitoring and what does it deliver, going beyond unified monitoring to deliver application service management, the secret ingredients of successful application service management, why this approach is not more widely adopted, solution options including ServiceVisual and Manager of Managers, then finishing with a quick demonstration of ServiceVisual. Before we go any further, I just want to share the following with you. After consulting with hundreds of clients over many years, I have come to understand the following common burning needs when it comes to monitoring. You're fed up with traditional systems. You want to be able to visualize the health and performance of your critical services from the perspective of your users. You want easy to understand dashboards that will enable your CEO or CFO to see the real health of your landscape and its critical services. You want to stop the alert cannon and produce alerts that are fit for purpose, alerts that show real issues and not the knock-on effects, alerts that will pinpoint the root cause of your problems. You want meaningful and proactive monitoring that exposes issues, whether they be fault or capacity related, before they develop into problems. As I said, I am passionate about helping clients to develop their monitoring solutions to reach their full potential, and this is why I'm excited to be showing you what I have to present today. Most enterprise monitoring solutions fail to deliver on the dream for one or more of the following reasons. IT teams are hardly ever allowed enough time to invest in the solution, leaving it permanently unfinished. Does this sound familiar? Then there are too many distractions, so IT teams can't develop the techniques or practical experience required. The unfinished system quickly becomes an alert cannon, then disillusionment sets in, which leads to the acceptance of a mediocre solution. So you end up with a totally reactive system that has little or no proactive functionality, and this is not good. Then to make things worse, you have the traditional monitoring approach. Historically, the various IT teams have selected tools to meet the needs of their own particular domains of responsibility, like server, network, application, etc. This uncooperative approach waters down the potential benefits of any solution and usually ends up costing more in the long run. This siloed approach means you must consult many different sources of truth whilst trying to establish the root causes of your problems with customer-facing services. This is a confusing and frustrating way to operate. This traditional approach is challenging because there is no correlation between the tools, and from a business perspective, it can be argued that the capital and operational costs just don't stack up, especially if answers are not being found quickly enough. These problems are typical of most monitoring systems, but it doesn't have to be this way. All that is needed is a vision of how it could be, with an appetite for change and some assistance. So what do we do about this? Well, unified monitoring is a start, and I will show you one example in a few minutes. But for now, let's discuss what is unified monitoring. Unified monitoring is an all-encompassing solution that monitors the multiple IT domains involved in delivering the IT and business services within one solution database, a kind of CMDB for monitoring with no silos. This gives you one source of truth. Events are correlated between IT domains, alerts are reduced to root cause, and logical groups can be created according to the service, roles, or infrastructure to be visualized. You can absolutely expect more visibility, more control, less downtime, and less stress. Unified monitoring can be achieved in two main ways: through a single vendor that provides a solution service, or configure your own isolated tools to feed into a correlation engine and dashboarding platform, also known as a Manager of Managers. And we can take this even further. Maximum benefit can be extracted from unified monitoring when it's used to provide application service management. For example, by having fault and performance data all in one place, alerting and reporting will be able to fully comprehend the intricacies of the IT and application services being delivered to your users. Unified monitoring platforms go some way to deliver this by understanding what is connected to what and then providing some level of dependency information. However, ASM more fully exploits unified monitoring to determine a more human-like understanding of the availability and performance of your key services, such as email, portals, CRM, etc. When performance falls below SLA, application service management will provide an intuitive, user-centric understanding of the mesh relationships between processes, operating systems, virtual machine hosts, network components, databases, storage, etc. So to summarize, application service management is not simply acknowledging a relationship between objects, then putting these into buckets or groups, as is the case for most unified monitoring systems. Instead, application service management defines the relationship between objects in the context of how the service is delivered to your end users. This differentiation is difficult to convey and absolutely critical to being able to fully appreciate the power of application service management and how it will change everything. The up-and-coming demonstration will help illustrate what I mean. But first, to achieve successful application service management, a sophisticated mix of technology and process is required. This includes service availability definition. In order to define whether an application service is available or not, it is necessary to deploy techniques that reliably determine whether users can access the service within the requirements of the SLAs defined by your business. Configuration discovery. Where knowledge of your service configuration is not readily available, then a combination of advanced discovery technologies and techniques needs to be applied to the target service environment. Service modeling. This is the ability to interpret the dependencies, routes, and critical paths that are involved in delivering the service to every type of user. In other words, an accurate and usable definition of service configuration. Data visualization. Some service configurations will be complex, but for this work to be valuable, it is essential that the dashboards, reports, and alerting are intuitively simple. The entire motivation for viewing service is to simplify the management of IT operations. This is achieved by enabling you to quickly establish 1. Whether or not an issue is service affecting, 2. What is the root cause of the problem, and 3. Who within the business is being affected. The concepts I have described here will no doubt seem logical and appealing to most IT professionals. So why is this approach not more widely adopted? Here is a list of the most common reasons stated. Process and knowledge. Companies don't have access to a solution framework to develop their own systems and are not sure where to start. Intelligent technology. With the mix of physical and logical configuration items making up a service, it's difficult to find a monitoring tool that can take data from all the required components and then discover, model, and visualize them in the right way. Keeping updated. Application service environments are dynamic. Devices are added or changed all the time. Software versions are updated or patched, and in some environments, application servers move around according to demand. SaaS applications. Because these applications can introduce monitoring blind spots, a strategy needs to be deployed to bring visibility to their performance into the monitoring system. This may, for example, involve service provider APIs, synthetic transactions, critical path discovery, or the monitoring of infrastructure. Resistance to change. It can be difficult to convince IT department heads that there is a legitimate need to change their tools or how they use them. This is because they have spent a reasonable amount of time and money developing these monitoring systems to manage their IT domain. So change should be gradual or as a complementary add-on. So for application service management, there are two main options available from Kedron. First, ServiceVisual. This is a cloud-based solution where we provide the configuration and delivery of application service management as a fully managed service. Then there is Manager of Managers. This is where we deliver the knowledge transfer, process framework, and appropriate solutions to assist you in the configuration of application service management onto your existing monitoring tools. So as an example, here is a dashboard from ServiceVisual showing an overview of critical services. Across the top, we see the critical services listed: email, CRM, payroll, and voice over IP. Under each critical service, there is a list of service categories that make up that service. So for the CRM service, the service categories are applications, servers, databases, and network. From this dashboard, it's easy to see the scary red network status and the ominous orange server statuses. But here's the really clever bit. I know that despite these alerts, all of my critical services are still operating within SLAs because all services are showing the green OK status across the top row. This is interesting. How would this work for you today? If you saw similar alarms in your environment, how long would it take you to understand how this was affecting your users? Here is another example dashboard. This one uses correlated information to show the server status and the contributing IT domains that make it up. The service status is calculated by collecting data from multiple underlying tools and systems in order to provide a useful and simplified view. This example also shows that we are able to consume complementary data from ServiceNow, where tickets associated with the service are also displayed. And of course, this dashboard provides the ability to drill down into ServiceNow so that you can see the full ticket information. All of our ServiceVisual installations are monitoring live environments, so at any given time it's really difficult for me to know what I'll be able to show you. To get around this problem and to bring some consistency to this demonstration, I have stalked a live operational system and taken some screenshots just at the right times, so I know what I'll be able to show you today. I really apologise for the PowerPoint screenshots, but if you'd like a live interactive demonstration on a one-to-one basis, then please let me know in the chat window and I will get this arranged for you. This dashboard shows the top-level view of the services category: library, print, student services, and VLE. Each service category is a collection of related services, which shows their rolled-up status at the top. You can see the three service categories, library, print, and VLE, are all showing a good, healthy status, as indicated by the green status icons. The student services service category has a red critical service status icon indicating a critical issue with one of its associated services. Looking below the student services, we can see that it's the SITS secondary service that is the cause of the critical issue. I'm now going to drill down to investigate the issue for the SITS secondary service. Here we see the three services repeated, each with a list of IT domains making up that service. Looking at the SITS primary service, we can see an amber root cause alarm for the server's IT domain. However, this issue is clearly not affecting the availability or performance of the service because the service in question is still showing a green rolled up status. On the other hand, it's obvious that the SITS secondary service does have a service affecting issue because of the red major root cause alarm status. Looking below the SITS secondary, it's easy to see that the root cause of the issue is the application's IT domain because of its red major root cause alarm status. I'm now going to drill down to investigate the major root cause issue of the SITS secondary application's IT domain. On this dashboard, we can see the four IT domains for the SITS secondary service: applications, servers, databases, and networks. Again, it's easy to see that the root cause of this issue is the application's IT domain because of its red major root cause alarm status. Additionally, there are a number of amber root cause alarms, but these are less serious, so can be ignored during this root cause analysis. I'm now going to drill down to continue the investigation of the major root cause alarm for the SITS secondary applications IT domain. This dashboard visualizes the alarms and their impact on the service being analyzed. We can see the two service impact categories, service critical and service impacting. Any alerts in the service critical category are having a critical effect on the service. Any alerts listed in the service impacting category are having a degrading effect on the service. Under the service impacting category, the two purple non-root cause alarms are real alarms, but they are not actually affecting the service in any way. This is powerful information that is a massive help when performing root cause analysis. The red major root cause alarm is impacting the service, but this is why it's listed in the service critical category. We now have visibility of the root cause alarm, which was obtained in just a few clicks. We discovered this alarm from a list of potentially hundreds by ignoring alarms from knock-on effects and focusing only on those which were service affecting. This was achieved so effortlessly because ServiceVisual exploits the power of application service management. I'm now going to drill down to investigate the major root cause alarm for the SITS secondary applications service critical alarms. This dashboard lists the alarms raised against the service being investigated, along with the effect they are having upon it. Once you have drilled down to this level, you can be assured that the alarm identified is the root cause of your problem. To show the detailed history of the measurements behind the alarm, I will now click on the graph icon next to the alarm of interest. You can now see the history graph. Returning to the services dashboard, I will now select the service map, which is how you visualize the topology of a service. On the service map, you can see that the servers in the bottom right-hand corner have been automatically mapped. This was done by collecting CDP, BGP, Layer 2 and Layer 3 information to automatically determine and draw the connectivity relationships. The servers in the top left-hand corner skipped automatic mapping and so will need manual intervention to be included. Let's return to the services dashboard to investigate the servers for the SITS primary service. Under the SITS primary service, you can see that the server's IT domain has issues as indicated by the orange minor root cause alarm status. We know that these alarms are not affecting the user's experience of the SITS primary service because that is still showing a green OK status. Now let's drill into the server's dashboard. This dashboard visualizes all of the servers associated with the SITS primary service. Here you can see that individual servers are experiencing issues, but remember, we already know that these are not impacting the users of the service. Now this dashboard is quite busy, but to consolidate the view, we simply select Low from the View Details slider on the left. The servers have now rolled up their alerts. This compressed view helps to more easily comprehend the status of those larger landscapes. Thank you very much for your time today. That completes the demonstration. In summary then, the raw power of application service management is its effortless ability to sympathize with your users and then take their perspective to highlight the services which are failing them, and then take you right to the root cause of those problems in just a few clicks. Once again, thank you very much for your attendance. This completes the demonstration, and now I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have on application service management and how this is achieved through ServiceVisual and Manager of Managers.